Hello and a very warm welcome to Game On. This is Meha Bhardwaj-Alter and it's a power-packed show this Friday evening. So let's get straight into it. We begin with India versus England on a day in which Ravichandran Ashwin joined the illustrious 500-wicket club, picking up Zach Crawley on a flat Rajkot pitch to become the 9th bowler in Test history to get there. An ominous 100 from England opener Ben Duckett, though, has left the match wide open. After India were bowled out for 445, Duckett scored a superb 133 of 118 deliveries to take his team to 207 for the loss of 2 wickets in 35 overs by stumps on day 3, trailing the hosts by 238 runs. On the best batting track seen so far in the series, England rattled along at over 6 runs per over in their first innings, with Duckett having struck 21 fours and 2 sixes in his unbeaten knock. Earlier in the morning, resuming play on 326 for 5, India were jolted on day 2 with the wickets of Ravindra Jadeja for 112 and the night watchman Kuldeep Yadav, but a partnership of 77 between Ashwin and the debutant Dhruv Jurel steadied the ship and got India past 400. Ashwin and Jurel were patient overall, choosing to run singles instead of trying to force the pace. This frustrated Ben Stokes, who kept changing his field placements and shuffling his bowlers until the breakthrough came when Ashwin on 37 chipped a catch to mid-on. Jurel was assured during his 104-ball stay at the crease, which saw him score 46 in his first innings. From 415 for 9, the last pair took the score to 445, with Jasprit Bumrah getting 26. For England, pace bowler Mark Wood was the pick of the lot with 4 wickets for 114 runs. In reply to India's big total, the runs flowed freely for England thanks to their openers, who added 89 in quick time. The aggressor in this partnership was the left-hander Ben Duckett, who hurried to his 15 just 39 balls, hitting 11 fours as England took 62 runs off the first 10 overs. By the time Rohit Sharma turned to Ashwin, England was 76 for no loss after 11 overs, and the master spinner struck quickly to get Crawley mistyping a sweep shot and move to 500 Test wickets. But the celebrations were short-lived. However, as Duckett continued to plunder runs and in particular target Kuldeep Yadav, who went at 7 runs per over in his first spell. Duckett got to 3 figures in 88 balls to record the fastest Test 100 by an English batter against India and did not slow down after the milestone. With him was Joe Root, who came to the crease after the fall of Oli Pope for 39. So, Ravichandran Ashwin, he became the 9th cricketer to reach the coveted landmark of 500 Test wickets, moving from 499 to join an elite club with his first wicket of the match. The milestone moment came at 3:03 p.m. on Friday when Ashwin had England opener Zach Crawley caught at fine leg to end a threatening opening stand of 89. The 37-year-old off-spinner, playing his 98th Test match, is the second Indian bowler with 500 wickets to his name after former skipper Anil Kumble, who sits at 4th place on the all-time list with 619. Incidentally, one of the other bowlers with over 500 wickets is also playing in this Test match, the 41-year-old James Anderson, who has 696 wickets. While the most recent entry to that 500 Test club was Australia's Nathan Lyon, who got his 500 in Perth a couple of months ago. Now, Ashwin made his Test debut in 2011 against West Indies in New Delhi and was named Player of the Match for taking 9 wickets. He went on to be named Player of the Series for his 22 wickets in India's 2-0 win and never looked back. And his 500 wickets have come at an average of just under 24. And his success in India, where he's taken 347 wickets at 21 apiece, have played a massive role in India being number 1 in Tests for 5 years under Virat Kohli's captaincy, as well as in helping the team make it to consecutive World Test Championship finals. Ashwin has 9 Player of the Match awards and 10 Player of the Series awards during his illustrious career, and at the age of 37, he will next add the milestone of 100 Test matches when the final game of the series starts early next month. Whether Ashwin can surpass Anil Kumble's tally of 619 remains to be seen. given his age and the number of test matches India will play overseas in 2025. But as we have seen during his special career, nothing is impossible for the man called Ravichandran Ashwin. Now, this is what Ashwin had to say about his 500th wicket. He says, and I quote, "It's been quite a long journey and I'd like to dedicate this 500th wicket to my father. He's been through the thick and thin of everything I've done in my life. He's had heart attacks every time I've played. His health has gone for a toss because he's watched games of mine on TV constantly and been a constant support for me. 500 wickets, done and dusted now." And describing 500 wickets as a huge milestone, Indian cricket's milestone man, Sachin Tendulkar. He was among the first ones to congratulate Ashwin. Sachin said 500 test wickets for a 1 in a million bowler. In Ashwin, the spinner, there was always a winner. 500 wickets is a huge milestone in test cricket. Congratulations, champion. And Indian Cricket Board General Secretary Jay Shah also took to X to extend his greetings to Ashwin. He posted, "Hats off to Ashwin for achieving an incredible feat of securing 500 test wickets." He goes on to say, "Your outstanding talent and unwavering commitment have left a lasting mark in cricketing history." Now, while Ashwin was the star for India, Ben Duckett was the star for England in his third 100 of his career. It marked a significant improvement on the batter who toured India in 2016 during England's last Test series here. Back then, the younger version of Duckett was all at sea against spin and managed 18 runs in 3 innings while being dismissed by Ashwin on all 3 occasions. It would be 6 years before Duckett got another chance to play Test cricket, and since his comeback as opener in December 2022, the 29-year-old is averaging almost 55 with 3 centuries and 6 half centuries. In the first 2 tests of this series, Duckett had scores of 35, 47, 21 and 28 on more sporting surfaces. But come Rajkot, he was able to unleash his full range of shots, in particular his use of the sweep and reverse sweep to India's 3 spinners was stunning. This was a far cry from how Duckett struggled in India 6 years ago with a full print of baseball all over his innings today, as he did during England's 3-0 sweep of Pakistan in 2022. Here Duckett was aggressive, did not hold back from playing his shots. He used the pace of Mohammad Siraj to carve shots square of the wicket and continually bossed the spinners with superb use of his crease. And even when Rohit Sharma put fielders deep in the outfield, Duckett backed himself to clear them. The result is a century that took the attack back to India and put England in a strong position after 2 days. Now, earlier in the day, when India were batting, one of the on-field umpires, Joel Wilson, made a signal not seen very often in Test cricket, that of signalling that 5 penalty runs were being awarded to England, who were fielding. This was because Ashwin, who was batting at that time, had run down the pitch, and thus Team India had been slapped with a 5-run penalty. Ashwin, after defending a delivery from Rehan Ahmed, proceeded to run down the middle of the pitch, which prompted umpire Wilson to take him aside and inform of his indiscretion, which came as the second offence of the innings. A day before, Ravindra Jadeja had been warned for the same offence by the umpires. So then, were the umpires right in handing a 5-run penalty to India? Yes, indeed, because under MCC's laws, after 2 of their batters ran down the pitch, they were guilty, and Ashwin's action warranted the penalty. As such, India were punished under Law 41, which relates to unfair play. But what is the protected area? First, let's tell you that. The law of the game defines it as that area of the pitch contained within a rectangle bound at each end by imaginary lines parallel to the popping creases and 5 feet in front of each, and on the sides by imaginary lines, one side of the imaginary line joining the centers of the 2 middle stumps, each parallel to it and 1 feet from it. Now, Law 41.14, which concerns batters damaging the pitch, states it's unfair to cause deliberate or avoidable damage to the pitch. So if the striker enters the protected area in playing at the ball, she must move from it immediately thereafter. A batter will be deemed to be causing avoidable damage if either umpire considers that his or her presence on the pitch is without reasonable cause. If either batter causes deliberate or avoidable damage to the pitch, other than as in 41.15, at the first instance, the umpire seeing the contravention shall, when the ball is dead, inform the other umpire of the occurrence. The bowler's end umpire shall then warn both batters that the practice is unfair and indicate that this is a first and final warning. This warning shall apply throughout the innings. The umpire shall so inform each incoming batter, inform the captain of the fielding side, and as soon as practicable, the captain of the batting side of what has occurred. Now, how do umpires award 5 runs to the fielding side? The rule states if there is any further instance of deliberate or avoidable damage to the pitch by any batter in that innings, the umpire seeing the contravention shall, when the ball is dead, inform the other umpire of the occurrence. The bowler's end umpire shall disallow all runs to the batting side, return any not-out batter to his or her original end, signal no ball or wide to the scorers if applicable, or 5 penalty runs to the fielding side. Hope that clarifies your doubts. Let's move on to football. And Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag has said that they are all aligned with the club's ambitions of British billionaire Jim Ratcliffe, whose acquisition of a 25% stake in the Premier League club was given the green light by the FA on Wednesday last. The FA has confirmed its approval in a statement a day after the Premier League also ratified the deal after the 71-year-old Ratcliffe passed their owners and directors test. Ratcliffe has struck a $1.25 billion deal in December for a minority stake in the club. He will also invest $300 million into infrastructure improvements. The deal will see lifelong fan Ratcliffe take charge of Manchester United football operations with an emphasis on upgrading the Old Trafford Stadium and strengthening the playing squad. Ratification was dependent on approval from the Premier League and the Football Association. That has now been assured, and the deal will be completed once Ratcliffe has acquired 25% of the outstanding Class A shares. Ratcliffe's purchase ended more than a year of uncertainty after majority owners, the Glazer family, have said in November 2022 that they were looking at strategic options. The American Glazers family, they've come under heavy criticism from fans who blame them for a steady decline in the fortunes of the 20-time English League champions after a period of domination under manager Alex Ferguson, who retired in 2013. While many fans would have hopes for a complete sale, Ratcliffe's arrival has been broadly welcomed.
Everything is always is aligned with each other. We are a club, and we are not an isolated department, the first team. But I think for the mood of the club, it's very important that the first team is performing, getting the right results. You see, you feel that ambition, and that brings a mood, that brings a spirit in this club. I think it brings a mood and a spirit what belongs to this club, and I think the players, the staff are very aligned with the ambitions of Ineos, because that's why we are here. That's why we are playing for Man United. We want to win, and we want to achieve the highest. So yeah, we are very aligned, and we have to make strategies, and we have to execute the strategies to prove the ambitions.
With that, time for us to slip into a short break. When we return, a lot more sports news here on the show. Stay with us.
From fragile 5 to top 5, from a laggard to a leader, India under Modi has reimagined the world order. Presenting the second edition of TV9, What India Thinks Today. Summit theme, India poised for the next big leap. Listen to Prime Minister Modi unveil his vision for Viksit Bharat at News 9 Global Summit, a TV9 network initiative.
Welcome back. French football team captain Kylian Mbappe has informed Paris Saint-Germain that he will leave the club in July as a free agent. Mbappe has been with PSG for 7 years. In fact, Mbappe has communicated his decision to PSG, but the terms of his exit are yet to be fully agreed on. An official announcement is expected once the situation is finalized in the next few months. A popular sports website has reported this story. The forward, who won the World Cup in 2018, joined PSG from Monaco in August 2017 and has helped them win 5 League One titles. The 25-year-old has scored 20 goals in the league this season as PSG pursue their 3rd title in a row. PSG, who lead the standings by 11 points, will host Nice later today. Reports suggest that Mbappe can join Spanish La Liga club Real Madrid. Mbappe has said that he would be leaving PSG on fair commercial terms, but he did not confirm his next destination. But Real Madrid of late has shown heavy interest in signing the French football icon. Mbappe had also come close to leaving PSG in 2022. He was about to ink a deal with Real Madrid, but he changed his mind and negotiated a lucrative extension with PSG. There's another speculation this time. Mbappe can move to the Premier League and sign a contract with Arsenal. Okay, this is an interesting story. Doping could be coming to the world of sports in the form of the enhanced games, where athletes are actually allowed to use substances banned by the World Anti-Doping Agency. Founder and president Aaron D'Souza said he wanted to create a sporting event that disrupts the Olympics.
Doping could be coming to the world of sports in the form of the enhanced games, where athletes are allowed to use substances banned by the World Anti-Doping Agency or technological assistance to achieve the best results they can. Founder and president Aaron D'Souza said he wanted to create a sporting event that disrupts the Olympic Games.
We want athletes who have the potential to break world records. And we're going to really focus on those best athletes and pay them well and give them the opportunity to push the limits of humanity.
D'Souza landed a major coup when retired world champion swimmer James Magnussen agreed to take banned performance-enhancing drugs to make an attempt at beating Cesar Ciello's 15-year-old 50 meters sprint world record for $1 million. And last month, D'Souza announced that he had attracted big-name investors, including PayPal co-founder Peter Thiel, tech investor Christian Angermeyer, and former Coinbase chief technology officer Balaji Srinivasan. D'Souza's vision is for athletes to compete for themselves and not their countries. Exactly when and where D'Souza's vision will be realised remains very much in the planning stage. He stresses the enhanced games would not be a complete doping free-for-all.
What we're doing is destigmatizing performance enhancements. And so I think a much better outcome will be to do this all out in the open, honestly, under clinical supervision. And that's what we always underline, clinical supervision. And so we're taking something out of the darkness and shining light upon it.
Not everyone is convinced about the enhanced games, though. US Anti-Doping Agency CEO Travis Tygart previously described it as a dangerous clown show. In a statement to Reuters, the International Olympic Committee said the idea of the enhanced games does not merit any comment.
Riverside booksellers, enormous open-air bookshops that are part of the Parisian landscape, adding to the charm of the Seine riverbanks. It was feared that they will be displaced as the French capital will host the Olympic Games from 26th of July to August 11. Now the booksellers have, it's in fact good news for them. The booksellers have operated on the banks of the Seine River for 150 years, and many of them were outraged after police initially ordered The removal of some 570 stalls over security concerns, as around 300,000 people are expected to attend the Olympics in Paris. Meanwhile, a source in President Emmanuel Macron's office has confirmed that the booksellers along the river will no longer be forced to move during the games. The shop owners are, of course, extremely happy because of that.
Of course, her reaction is happiness. Happiness mixed with relief. It finally ends. Because it's been 7 months, and every day we resist. If we didn't resist, the stands would have been gone, just like that.
On to Formula One, and Red Bull have brought the busy run of launches ahead of the 2024 F1 season to a close by becoming the final team to unveil their new challenger. The reigning world champions showcased the RB20 in Milton Keynes on Thursday, the car that they hope to defend their titles with in the year ahead.
Red Bull on Thursday joined the growing list for Formula One teams to unveil their new machines for the upcoming season. The new car named RB20 was introduced at the RBR factory in Milton Keynes. F1 world champions are optimistic that the new improved machine will help them defend their title in 2024. Red Bull had won all but one of the races last season, with Dutch driver Max Verstappen taking their third title in a row with 19 wins in 22 races.
My first thoughts are that it looks good. I mean, at the end of the day, it needs to be quick. And that's what we're all working for. And hopefully we can already start working on that in Bahrain and testing. I think last year, of course, we had an incredible year. We've won so many races and broke quite a few records as well along the way. So it's definitely going to be hard to try and do something similar. But that's also not entirely the aim. We want to, of course, win. We want to win the championship, but it doesn't always need to be record-breaking, let's say like that.
Also present at the event was Red Bull team boss Christian Horner, who is facing an inquiry into undisclosed allegations about his conduct. It was his first public appearance ever since the inquiry has begun.
Being part of Red Bull is something very special. It's unique. I mean, I think that this team, compared to any other in the pit lane, is just very different. We have a very strong culture. We have a very, we work hard. We enjoy our racing, we play hard, and that's one of the mantras of Red Bull, and that's why I think we've had such tremendous loyalty from our team, from our staff, and from our fans.
Max's teammate Sergio Perez had won 2 races to finish second overall, while Ferrari's Carlos Sainz took victory in Singapore in the only non-Red Bull victory. He sounded upbeat ahead of the testing, which begins on Friday.
Yeah, I'm really hopeful. I'm really looking forward to this year, and just want to hit track. I want to really get my best season in F1. So I want to improve myself in all the aspects, and take another step further. It's very aggressive concept. You could see a lot of changes in it, and we will see once we hit the track.
The presentation celebrated the team's 20 years in Formula One that has seen them win 7 Drivers' title and 6 Constructors' championships. This event in Milton Keynes also spelled the end of the busy run of launches ahead of the 2024 F1 season, with Red Bull becoming the final team to unveil their new challenger to be on the circuit in 2024.
Visa Cash App. The 3 words have been associated with financial transactions now will also echo at Formula One circuits during the 2024 season. The latest name in Formula One world, Visa Cash App, RB, have also unveiled their car this week. This is the first car from Faenza with a new name, marking a new era post Alpha Tauri. The officially unveiled car, it was unveiled in Las Vegas. It appeared nothing more than a show car. RB's launch focused on showcasing its livery and revealing new sponsors and style. And unlike most teams in Formula One, the V-Carb 01 is covered with bright colors. This year's livery is also enriched by new and important sponsors, a significant part of the team's post-Singapore aerodynamics development. They are present on this 2024 World Cup. Clearly, Red Bullization process still took place over the winter. That's it then on sports. Have a good weekend. Hope you enjoyed our show. Like I said, hope you have a good weekend as well. Goodbye.
How do you fulfill that promise? Because ultimately expectations have to be met. If you look at the political landscape, is it really changing for women? And what is the inability of the forces that dead bodies surface but not the living people?
We are trying a lot of experiments, innovations and ideas.
We came out with a new format in audio, which is audio series.
Listening for content-oriented company in India, which is a very unique proposition.
When you look at audio in general, we had music, which is like extremely old format, and then we had podcast.
A natural extension to Pocket FM is to move from Hindi to regional content. I think I'd love to see their FY24 numbers, which they claim will be close to 1,000 crores. I think there are talks of them to raise another $80 to $100 million of funding.
This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
Bangalore traffic is an example of something that has gone wrong with our system.
We have more than 50 flyovers in Bangalore city. If flyover is a solution to traffic problem, Bangalore should not have traffic problem.
According to TomTom Traffic Index 2022, Bangalore is ranked as the second worst city in the world when it comes to traffic.
The speed limit at the ORR is 80 kilometers per hour, but our vehicle has only moved 10 kilometers per hour.
What Bangalore needs is a surgery, but what we have been offered repeatedly are band-aids.
Only on the world's first news OTT. News 9 Plus, ahead of the curve.
There's a new video around what deepfake can do.
We had seen a trailer of this a few days back.
Rollers should not be only on the platform.
We'll have to wait and see how those play out.
Hindenburg's report cannot be taken as gospel of truth.